Well, hello, my dear church boys, and welcome to yet another episode of St. Robert's Day Game Pickup Podcast. The good news is, I know guys who are going out and doing sets right now as all of this quarantine COVID thing is happening. I know guys that are doing sets in Riga, including myself. I know guys doing sets in Prague, in New York City, and the amazing news is, oh my god, the day game still works. I have a date lined up from day game. It's lined up for tomorrow. A friend of mine did 10 sets in Riga 2 days ago. Girls were responsive, everything was nice, it was great. The world hasn't ended. Day game still works. I'm coaching several guys via Skype. I have a Skype student who has on average 3 dates a week from that's including day game and some social circle stuff because he's in a country that's partially in a lockdown, but he still does sets on the streets. Guys are still doing stuff. I have guys pre-booking infield coaching for when the mandatory 14-day quarantine is over for the travelers. So I thought about this and I decided that I'll have a little offer for guys that want to get coaching later this year. If you are in Europe, uh, I will most probably go to Prague and a few other places as soon as the flights are back up and there will be no 14-day mandatory quarantine. So if you know you will want to do day game infield coaching as soon as this is over, this is your chance because, as you know, the infield coaching price went up in October last year. But I will take a few pre-bookings for the first 1.5 months after all of this is over for the old price. It's very simple. You can pre-book and partially prepay infield coaching in Europe if you are from Europe. And we will do the coaching in the first 1.5 months after the 14-day quarantine for travelers is no longer mandatory. It can be Prague or it can be some other city in Europe. I have a few destinations lined up both in Europe and I'm planning to go to Russia as well. And one more good news is if you are from Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia, the governments recently, like a few days ago, decided that the borders will be open within Baltic states, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, and you can go from one of those states to the next one and then to the other ones, and there will be no mandatory quarantine or anything like that. So if you are there in any of the countries, you can still day game, you can still travel or do some coaching or anything like that. With all of that being said, welcome to the third podcast with Pablo. I've recorded 2 podcasts with him in the past. He is the guy who was the cocaine dealer. We did an episode of his cocaine stories, him starting with simple stuff, moving up to selling ecstasy in bulk, then importing and exporting cocaine, importing from South America and then exporting to other countries in Europe. And the other podcast we did with him was about his time in jail because he was caught, as most people in this business are, and he spent several years in jail. So we did a podcast on that, and as promised, we promised we would do a podcast on his let's put it experience with girls, because he is a guy who is incredibly successful with girls, has been since he was a young kid and still is. And the thing we did not speak about in the podcasts previously with him, we did not discuss his health. And the truth is, an accident happened several years ago where he was heavily injured. He had over 20 surgeries over the last few years, and he had recently half a part of his leg amputated, and he's getting the rest of his leg amputated pretty soon as well. And I wanted to do this podcast with him because regardless of everything that has happened health-wise, he is still getting laid with beautiful girls. I've seen pictures and they are really, really stunning. So enjoy. I did this interview because I was genuinely interested to see how he did this, what's his game was, what was he like with girls. And you can listen to the podcast, and yes, there are some parts where you can say, oh, this guy was in the right place at the right time, he came from this background and sports and being known in his field, etc., etc. But there are definitely great takeaways that you can implement in your game, and you will probably hear that a lot of things he does, he really has thought about them, and they are very similar to what we do in game. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. One thing I have to mention is you will understand why as soon as the podcast starts, but sometimes you're speaking louder, sometimes you're speaking a bit slower, so the audio might be a bit too loud or a bit too quiet in some parts of this podcast. I hope it doesn't fuck up your experience too much. I'm just warning you. With all of this being said, without any further ado, here is the third podcast with Pablo on his stories with all the beautiful girls in his life. Right. Hey guys, this is going to be a very special interview, podcast, conversation, because, go for it.
Because,
but don't say what you're doing. Yeah, this is gonna be a very, very fun podcast with a friend. We've done a couple of podcasts before with the guy. If you go back and you listen to the interviews with the guy who was slinging coke, with Pablo, go back and listen to that. We've done 2 interviews with a friend of mine, childhood friend, who used to sell coke wholesale when he was younger. Not younger, but like just a few years ago, and then spent 3 years in prison, which has amazing stories. We did one podcast about him, like his coke stories, and one podcast about his prison stories, but we promised to do one more about his girl stories. Wait a minute.
Nice.
Yeah, we're doing this Joe Rogan style, I guess. So, in this podcast, I wanna talk. I wanna talk to him about how he was getting laid, how he started to get laid, how he was getting laid during his ecstasy times, during his cocaine times, and the shit we haven't told you in the previous podcasts. Can you shortly tell the story we didn't tell in the previous podcasts?
I do not remember.
Like the thing we didn't talk about, the health thing. We never mentioned it.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Let us sit down. I need a minute. So, what about health? About my health now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my health now is pretty bad. I have had 26 surgeries during past 2.5 years. Yeah, 26 surgeries. I have one healthy arm left, and I still get both arms, but healthy is one, and one half healthy leg with no. I have no tissues in the knee, so yeah. And one leg half amputated, but it will soon be fully amputated. So my health's like a pretty bad shape.
As our mutual friends told, you've gotten lighter. You've lost some weight.
Yeah, but I haven't got any lighter losing weight because sitting home.
Because it's COVID time, and
no, you just get fat sitting home, and that's the way it is.
So when you spent you had a few years when you were kind of even either on a wheelchair or on crutches, even before the amputation. So you had several years where, like, you had your times when you were a young dude who was doing a lot of sports, and guys might assume, well, he was a young guy doing a lot of sports, like the cool guy at school, he was getting laid.
Yeah.
Then you were slinging ecstasy, pretty like, oh yeah, he was the guy who was getting laid. Then you were in those coke parties, and you'll probably tell the crazy story about the wheelchair and the chains.
Yeah.
That's one of the stories we definitely should cover. And then but that was afterwards, actually.
Yeah.
So you did the coke parties and everything, and they say, oh well, he went to coke parties, he had drugs, that's why girls fucked him. Like, guys could come up with tons of excuses why you were getting laid. But then, like, the shit happens, and the shit hits the fan, and you end up being either in a wheelchair or on crutches or
I'm fat.
Yeah. And you're still banging as many chicks as you want. Yeah. Sometimes even you have to fuck them more than you want to.
Yes. That's what we were talking about before.
Yeah, that's like a problem many guys that are successful with girls have. Like, once you have a girl in a rotation, you have to fuck her once in a while.
What it was called?
Rotation.
No. The fuck.
Maintenance fuck.
Oh, okay.
That's a term I learned from. That's a term I learned from Tom Torero. So you're still getting laid a lot, and you've showed me some pictures of girls, and they are I didn't see the faces, but they were really really
the faces
beautiful.
Are nice too. So.
Yeah, like the really like princessy, all fake types of girls. That's incredible. I envy you a little bit, so that's why I want to have this conversation. I honestly want to kind of pick your brain and know your story. I assume I kind of know what's the first part of the life, but I still want to know, like, what type of dates do you do, whether you do them, where do you meet your chicks, how does that work? There are plenty of questions I want to ask. We have a few questions guys sent in. Well, there were sent a lot of questions, but I took only a part of them because it's like, it looked like you guys were like kind of drunk when some questions looked like, were you drunk when you wrote this? Like, I could barely read them. So I want to go through all these questions, and obviously I want to go over all the crazy stories, at least some of them.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them, yeah. So I guess let's start from the beginning. So what was your childhood like? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, but you know the childhood part. But I was thinking, when was the first fuck, and I realized it's like was 5th or 6th grade. I could.
It's like 12 years old.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, exactly, because it was. I had any dick hair. I don't remember. Did I have, or did it work properly? I don't even remember.
Or
that.
Did you tie a pencil onto it?
I know. She was 2 or 3 years in the same school. My first fuck was in the lobby of 9th floor building where I was living. Yeah, between 4th and 5th floor.
Wasn't that your floor?
No. It was even opposite house. But yeah, I was like, no, it even wasn't 12. Anyway, so it was the first fuck, and I was in 5th or 6th grade, yeah, and the next fuck was only 2 years after.
Okay, so
like, you acknowledge that fuck's gonna be not like random stuff, but the first girl, she was crazy, and I have met her after I like 10 years or 15 years after that, and we had a like sweet fuck to remember, and I have never seen her after.
Did she say the first one was the better or the second one?
Oh, definitely second one was because at first she fucked me, so kinda.
She seduced you to like for the first fuck.
Yeah.
Was the deal.
Yeah,
okay,
she was. She had something on younger boys, I guess, but I was a pretty tall guy for my age, and I was higher than she, so. Yeah, but she had crush for very young boys, so
higher than
immature. Yeah, that's
shit. That was good. Okay, so listen, but if we tell this story the other way around, imagine 12-year-old girl And a guy who's 15 and has a crush on younger
No,
girls, that's such a wrong
oh
story.
yeah, it's
But
very
this story where there's like a 15-year-old chick that just
yeah,
bangs this 12-year-old, it's all of
yeah.
a sudden a cool story.
It's awesome story.
Fuck,
It's
it's
it's a
hilarious.
great story.
So you had this sexual trauma,
No, I
and
didn't.
then you reunited with your abuser
Yes,
10 years later. Okay,
but no one believed me at that time. So
you were bragging to
yeah, no
everyone.
one believed me. No one believed. Still, some part doesn't believe to this. But she did met my friends, to whom I was telling the stories about my first fuck, and she approved that. Yeah, the shit went, and yeah, now they believe.
Okay.
Uh,
So
I
then
got lucky.
I'm more interested in the second fuck. So that was a fuck that you got. You did the work, right? As I understood.
The work was very simple, you know. At that time,
50 euro.
no, seventh grade. Seventh grade is like 14, 13 or 14 years, seventh grade.
Okay.
And we were a bunch of hockey guys, and the hockey was cool back then. In seventh grade,
Remember that we shouldn't mention other sport because like there's some
yeah,
persons could be
yeah,
identified. I'm
yeah,
just reminding
yeah,
you.
yeah, and yeah, and we were a bunch of hockey guys in our school. And long story short, every Thursday, my friends, classmates, parents went out of the town. And every Thursday after school, it's 2 o'clock daytime, we bought vodka, we choose chicks, we drank vodka, and we did fuck. And the chicks knew if they are going with us, there's gonna be fuck. So no one came who didn't want to fuck.
Yeah.
So, but as I now looking at seventh grade, yeah, at seven, I realized that's fucked up shit, because they're just kids, and we did this intentionally. We realized we need to get drunk chicks at seventh grade. It's not like 10, 11 or 12. It's seventh grade.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
So it was like right now that would be like considered non-consensual or whatever. That would be totally illegal. Oh, it still is illegal probably.
no, it's totally illegal.
It's
But
totally. So it was like you were like the cool kids, like the hockey kids, right? And so you had this party and chicks
we,
came to fuck.
I was living in a suburb that there was a drinking at young age and drugs at young age, and chicks did fuck at the young age.
You grew up in a fucked up part of Riga.
Yeah, but the school was legit, and but the chicks were from the neighborhood, so they were smart chicks, but from the neighborhood, and there was no questions. I'm thinking it was so easy, because those who went with us had a vodka and had a fuck.
Yeah, that's it.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Okay. So there was basically like you just had to be the cool kid basically to get laid.
Yeah, or have an apartment free.
Yeah. Okay. So your first lays there. What happens after that? Like each week one new lay.
But seventh grade,
Same party.
No, there were like 10 chicks, that we were 3 boys, and then were 10 chicks, and they were rotating 3 of those, 3 of those, 3 of those. So basically, we each fucked 10 chicks, yeah, basically.
Okay, so like by the age of like 15, you had more chicks than most guys in the world.
Possibly, yeah.
Because like,
but I was lucky.
Yeah, well,
it's a luck. It's nothing I was working on. I got in the right place in the right time, with the right people and with the right mind, and I was just lucky.
Okay, so what happens in life afterwards?
Still happy and
happy,
happy and lucky.
So where do the next lays come from? So you get your first chick there.
I had the big first lays was with I was again 2 or 3 years younger, and the chick was she illegal? I think she was 18 or something. She was a model, underwear model, and she was a virgin, and I was her first.
Wait, how old were you back then?
15 or 16.
15, 16, okay.
Yeah, 15, 16. and my mother remembers her clearly now. I can bet you, because she was trying to kill herself afterwards.
Oh my
When we
God.
split up, and her parents were calling my parents, and there were a bunch of problems. She was telling that she's pregnant, but she wasn't, and yeah. But this was my like first chick for a lot of times. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of times. By the
Okay.
end of her, I was like, I don't know.
Wait, how did you meet her?
We had some
You
portal like Facebook, but on our own, and
Droge Mile.
yes, friends,
Yeah.
Fripe or
Fribe.com.
Fripe,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like a
Fripe.com.
Latvian Facebook version that started a few years after Facebook, I guess.
Oh, yeah, possibly.
Facebook wasn't popular back then in Latvia. We
No,
didn't use it at all.
at all, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a strategy. There was a top of girls back then. The day before the top pictures or the top girls, the most viewed girls, and I
Yes.
had strategy: right click, open a new tab, those who one I did like, and then I choose the best, I don't know, for the evening, 15-20 girls, and looked at them all, was thought of one text for them all, copy and paste it, and worked worked my deal, and it worked all the time for the most of them, because it's impossible to get response from all 20. So anyway,
Of course.
but it worked, and it worked very well. And
So here I'm sitting in a conversation with the inventor of online pickup.
that don't kind of
kind of this is
I,
like the
I'm
first
I'm
guys.
teaching this technique to like my friends. How did you do this? No, open the same Triper. You can. There's still this rating. You can go check it out now. There's still open up. Take 50. I don't know, 60, 100, and message to them all. Do the first step. Well,
Yeah.
at least she will not know you exist if you don't do the first step, and it will pay back afterwards sometime,
And
someday.
that was
But
like, yeah, that was like 15 years ago, something like that.
yeah, 15 years
15 years
ago.
ago.
15, yeah.
So how many online like Droge Milovičiks did you bang around? Like just a ballpark number.
The last time before I deleted my old account, I deleted it like 12 years ago, my old account. At the moment I was counting, it was like 130 at that moment.
You fucked 136 from that site.
From the site, but I connected all them as a friend, and that counting remembers my good friend. You don't know him, but he knows clearly the counting was right, because he
Yeah.
had seen them all, because he was near in the apartment anyways.
Okay.
He got a car at that time. I
Okay.
hadn't have driven.
What was this? Did this other guy try it too?
Nothing.
But he tried it or not?
No. No,
Did
he's
you
a
have
different.
friends who tried it or?
I never mentioned this technique. They all were to whom I mentioned. They at that time they were young still, and they didn't believe in their selves, not in my technique, but in the. I did first step for them, but when they started to dealing with the girls afterwards by themselves, everything ended fastly.
Okay.
Because they had some issues
Okay.
meeting with the girls.
So let's move on. So you had your first real game, so to say, was
Yeah.
like online.
Yeah.
This Latvian site. Uh, I assume like that these 130 whatever checks happened over a long time, and you were like looking for meeting chicks from other places as well, right? Like school or
Basically, those chicks were in three year span. 130.
yeah, but I mean, during these 3 years, were you seeing other chicks as well? Were you meeting girls at school at like
yeah, of
parties
course.
or?
There wasn't a lot of parties by that time, because I had a lot of sports to do. But yeah, some fans, some teammates, sisters, and no, the basic stuff. It's nothing special, the basic stuff.
So just so that guys, I remind you that Pablo was seriously in Latvia, in a few sports in Latvia, very successful in the sports he was in, both locally and abroad, as I know from one of the sports. So he had like a micro celebrity thing going on, or like like in his field, like he was kind of a bit known.
No, I thought that was the thing. At that time, I thought I was the best.
Yeah, because that's where you started doing coke. I heard it gives you confidence.
Year after,
Yeah. So, what were the other sources where you were meeting girls?
School and the friends. There wasn't any party going on really. Maybe I don't remember.
Okay. So
nothing. Only the way from the school to the sports and back, and there was no real time.
So even like we in our field we call it social circle. You know, people in your school, your hobbies, and that live around you. Okay. So that's all long fucking time ago. It's like still in high school. Fuck that shit.
Okay.
Let's move after that period, because that's like you had a ton of lays back then.
Yep.
And so it gave you like a good start and an amazing vibe. Shit, it sounds so serious.
Yeah.
Fuck that. So it gave you like a really good, I guess, vibe to start with and confidence. And then like you graduate. So where are the chicks coming from once you're like 20 to 24, 5, something like that? Like after school and...
yeah, but they were coming from few nightclubs with me. I changed the vibe to the nightclubs.
So were you starting conversations in nightclubs?
Yeah.
Opening in nightclubs?
Yeah.
Was it before coke parties, while doing coke parties, after?
While.
So
it's all mixed together from age of 18, 19 till the time I got into jail. It was mixing all the time. It was a mix of parties, places, internet, so you name it.
So in the beginning, it was friends parties. Then you got older. It was you tried online and social circle, kind of chicks you know from school, sports, whatever. And then kind of the parties and coke starts, and then the chicks are coming from clubs, coke parties, etc.
And from the sports. There were a lot of chicks from the sports too. Like they wasn't really fans, but kind of fans. The fans of the sport, not of me, but of the sport. As I was in some category in the top, I was good for them.
Okay. Okay, so clubs, sports, what comes after that? Let's say, or until what time does that continue? Is it until you go to jail, or?
Yes. Half year before the jail, I did sit at home, but I did still party. So yeah, till the jail. Yeah. I was thinking what I was doing, but yeah.
Okay, so to those who don't know, listen to the previous podcast. You have all the stories there but about the jail. So you spent 2.5 total in jail, then they let you out early for, I guess,
2 years.
Being very nice. Oh, 2 years.
2 years.
Because you got 3 in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so because I have recently explored Latvian law for not knowing the years and amounts, etc. Okay,
it depends on
a substance. Yeah. So you come out of the jail.
Yeah.
Do you have like 10 chicks waiting for you, or?
At the beginning, most of the chicks were afraid from me.
Oh,
because of the jail.
But was it the chicks that you not knew from before, or were those new chicks?
During and before, I've met a lot of chicks. There was a lot of free time, and there was some way to contact chicks from inside. So I managed to have a bunch of waiting for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're coming out, and are they meeting you, or are they afraid?
They were afraid because I don't know. They were all thinking like I'll never get out or something. They were as I see those conversations, they were so open. When I came out, I don't know, I think they didn't think that this is real, or anything from this is real, or I am in jail, or maybe I'm some just
Wait, where did you meet them? Online?
yeah.
Also, and they knew you are chatting to them from jail.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick, bro.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they knew that I'm in jail. The
Yeah, it's
big
incredible.
part of the chicks deleted me, of course, from the conversation.
course.
Yeah,
But you learned it's a numbers game.
yeah, of course, you have to do the job. So there's no fuck before.
Lesson one.
Yeah, you
You have to do the job, guys.
At least the first step, at least.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So you come out of the jail, you have the chicks.
I had the problem. I didn't. I needed to sit at home because I had this electronic device on my foot.
House arrest?
Yeah, and I was one of the first in the capital city that got it, and there was a very strong control over that. And yeah, at first few months, I didn't do anything. Afterwards, I didn't want to come out from the home at all, because I was so much alone sitting that I didn't want to meet anyone. And then one party, second party, and I was back
Okay.
in almost everything.
Okay. So you had the chicks that you were speaking to while you were in jail, you come out, none of them meets you.
Did meet, 3 of them did meet. But there were, I wanted to meet them very much. I did the job for them. They were much older, but they were fine.
So
I was at that time 26. They were much older, from 40 till 55.
Wow.
But they were like very good chicks. Like wow.
That's dope, man. Okay, so you come out of jail, you bang them, then party life restarts, all the drugs and parties and everything basically restarts. What happens after that? So they're like, basically while you are partying and coke is part of your life.
Yeah.
Chicks are
but
from those parties.
I was thinking of these questions, but the big part of those chicks didn't do coke. Never. From those chicks, like maybe I was doing, maybe, just maybe.
Wait, so the biggest part of the chicks you banged while you were in coke parties didn't do coke?
Yeah.
Oh, this changes everything.
It doesn't. A lot of chicks don't do that.
Okay, so why are they at the parties?
They like to hang out. I had the same question. Why are you here? Because everyone, mostly 8 from 10 people do coke there at those parties, but a lot of chicks didn't do.
Okay,
but it was
still banging the guys.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so it's
and they weren't even drinking hard. So
I know that those chicks are usually very hot that go to those parties. Like I've met several; they were incredibly hot.
They are.
Are they gold digging there possibly for the future?
I haven't met anyone.
Okay, so what the fuck are they doing there? I just can't figure this out.
I can too, but none. I had none gold diggers, like, because I don't know, I feel them in my ass.
No, not like saying like that they have done it to you, but is maybe they're like unintentional thing for going there, like finding a boyfriend, good boyfriend material?
No, not at my parties.
Okay, no, I'm just like
they were closed kind of thing parties where everyone knew already everyone, and not always random unknown people were invited because of things we were doing there, and there were a lot of chicks and they were changing, but not very much of new ones. But the parties were different. I had 6-7 companies to go to party.
Did those girls go there to fuck?
Oh, don't think so.
Okay.
The intention going there was just like having fun. They were going in 2-3 girls, like 4 girls. The thing was just to hang out, I think, there.
Okay.
Their thought was to hang out, never to fuck, but they did fuck.
Okay. Okay, and
It's stupid to go there and think I will not, like, I don't know even how to say. It sounds rude, like they're going there and not knowing not to fuck. No, it's
yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
it sounds,
Like,
but you know.
okay, so it's basically a bunch of cool guys hanging around. Uh, is there anything like what did you have to do to bang them? What's the game? Is there a game, or you just were there and you banged them and that's it?
I had one thing for me working very well. One, and it has worked since, I don't know, 1 month ago. I did the same thing with the one chick and it worked. It sounds funny, but I stared them like uh, like follow with my eyes to them, and when they respond, it's like 80% success. I don't know what's the thing, but like,
Okay, I know. Yeah.
and that stupid thing only comes when I'm high or drunk, or because I know it works. I don't know why it works, but it works. And when you stare at them and they respond, if they respond second or third time, you got her. There's no chance you will not have her. So
Okay, so you were looking like in our language that would be like looking for hardcore, looking for IOIs in like a social circle situation. Interesting.
yes,
Okay.
that's my thing that has worked for me. If they don't start to talk to me just random, or any conversation, or my if I have to choose the chick from the crowd to fuck and I haven't spoken to her, I stare at her, yeah.
With
And
your
it
hand
goes,
in your pocket.
no, but it didn't change a thing.
Okay, so
It's not about the fucking, it's about the process till the fucking.
of
Because
course,
the fucking isn't,
lesson two, guys. Lesson two, guys.
the fucks doesn't change.
Yeah.
It doesn't change. You have someone better, no, sucking or whatever, someone better fucking, but in the end of the game, it's about the process, not that fuck.
Yes. Exactly.
At first, I don't know, 5 chicks, 10 chicks, it was about the fuck, because I could tell to guys, yeah, I did fuck her. It was cool back then in 7th grade. Yeah.
Okay. So what happened? What's next? So you have the coke parties. So what happens in your dating life?
I had several girlfriends that if I could go back then and I could pick one of them, I probably would stay with some of my girlfriends.
Oh, so we have some like thoughts about
No,
shit
I
from the
realized
past.
they were great chicks, because afterwards I have met a ton of chicks and they're not so great chicks.
Oh yes, man.
So,
I've met some chicks that like I've
and
met chicks that I've kind of like fallen in love for a short time outside of the relationship, like
yeah,
while banging random chicks.
yeah.
I've
No,
met
it
amazing,
was
amazing
always me,
chicks.
and it was always the problem, and that was the problem. I was
Okay.
banging other chicks all the time, and it changed a lot in my head, uh, in thoughts of my girlfriend. If I wasn't doing well, didn't do so many bad things, it would be different. But in my head, when I get a girlfriend, I think, okay, I will hold on. She's fine. She's nice. She's smart. She's the girlfriend type. And she fucks, and she snorts coke. Yeah, the best of the best. And the 2, 3, 4 weeks in, something's missing.
Yeah.
The process is
Yeah.
gone, and you lose a
The
part of
process is gone.
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um.
no.
Wait a bit. I wanted to ask you something.
But to come to where I am right now, I did lost my friend, very very good friend. Lost, he died, and
I knew so many of his friends. I never met him. I knew so many of his friends, man. Like all the gang. He was the
I
only guy I had never met.
nice Riga Mall.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. And I did went abroad. Did I tell where I went? In the
Amsterdam with
previous.
hookers and whatever. Or what was it?
Yeah, and now about the warm place where
Thailand.
yeah.
Oh, did you tell that? Shit. Could we talk about it? Was it out in the open?
It wasn't anything to hide, really.
Oh no, I don't know. So okay, you
After
went to
that,
Thailand.
my thought was, oh, I'll go abroad and like settle down, restart, because he was a good friend of mine, and I was thinking I will go abroad to the warm place and restart myself to do something.
So
Just
you went to Thailand after his death?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that part. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I had probation as the second my probation was gone. Actually, I did cut my probation 1 year, but officially, I asked them for permission and they gave me the permission, and I went to the Thailand, yeah, to restart something. I don't know what I was thinking then, but I remember I was thinking, okay, I will go there and the things will be better there. Like,
wait, I remembered one question I wanted to ask you before I forget, because I will forget, given the state you're in. So you told about the time where you had a few of those amazing chicks that, like, if you kind of did different things, you would be with one of them.
Yeah.
So if you had a son in the same situation and you saw him like living your lifestyle after that point where he has a few of those really amazing chicks,
yeah.
and he came to you and he asked, Dad, listen, what should I do? What would be the advice? Like, keep living the life that you chose, or go with the girlfriend for whatever?
If the son was me and dad was me,
it's kind of the question.
If the son was me, there's nothing anyone could tell me that at that point will change me to do, because a lot of people told me things I shouldn't do. I did them. I did know the result, and I got the result, and it wasn't always the best result. But
But you know,
sadly,
the idea of the question is like,
yeah.
So
I would tell him to stay there. Yeah, I would tell my son, knowing that, to stay there. But
staying there, you mean what?
With the girlfriend.
Okay, yeah. So have a girlfriend.
Yeah,
okay.
It will not get better. It will get only worse.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Are you idolizing the idea that like it only could have been better? So like that seems like it. If you chose that would be amazing, and everything else, like the other path, is gonna get shittier.
I don't know how would it went, but now thinking, I wanted to go back then and stay with them.
But what I'm thinking.
But now sitting here, after everything is gone wrong for me, I think now there are two sides of me. One would want to go back to them, but now realizing, I think when I meet her, I'm not searching for anyone, but I know deep in my mind, I know if there's gonna be normal chick, like okay chick from all the sides, then I could give it a shot. I could even try to be good at this time.
So the idea is that if you meet someone that's really amazing, you could totally get in a relationship with her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was actually the next question I wanted to ask you.
But I don't believe someone will appear like that.
Well, what was the thing about the first step?
I'm not. That's the thing. I'm not searching. But if I will go to, I don't know, any hospital, any medical instance, or anywhere I'm going right now, or to the sports or pool, if I will see her, I will do the job. Okay. If I will see her, but I haven't seen her anywhere.
Okay. So Thailand. But we'll get back to this one as well, because I want to talk about, like, that's a big part I want to talk about.
Thailand. The story about the Thailand, it wasn't, there were crazy things, but I can't talk about them. But it wasn't any different from the past 10 years of my life. I went for peace, but I didn't get any.
So what's with the girls? The same thing from parties?
There were like online dating and That's different kind of world.
Yeah, like
There's
study
a
stage.
vacation all the time, and the mind of the girls and the boys there's a lot of
So were they local or
no,
from
I
tourists?
didn't like locals really, and from our side of Europe mostly.
Okay.
There was some Australian chick. Yeah, I don't really like the mentality of the girls of other countries like Canada, America. Those there are very annoying types of girls, and I have had them a lot, and I can't handle the annoying type of girls, so I
Okay.
just better go away. And it's yeah,
So you did some parties, some online dating. What did you so you well we know the strategy. You just shoot the same text, copy paste everyone in chat, invite them out, right? So what were you doing on the dates? What was your date with them, or was it like, yo, let's fuck,
it's
bitch?
very easy in Thailand. You know, you get a bottle of wine, go to the closed beach, and one sexy beach in the evening, and there's nothing. You just need to walk and drink wine, and that's
So
all.
you did the walking dates with wine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basic stuff, or you could just find a fuck buddy, and it was really the girls at the I met Tinder there. I have never seen Tinder before. It was like 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years. I haven't seen Tinder. I met there, and there were the chicks. There are a lot of hot chicks, and the ones that post on their bio that they want sex or party, or you see she did right, and there were not fake girls.
Well, it's
Yeah,
written, I came here to fuck.
yeah, basically, yeah. I'm for party or for not for friendship to some, and you could free from 10 girls. There were that type girls, and I
Okay.
even didn't bother to write to those girls. I wrote these, and they responded all the time. There were Ukrainians, Russians, Belarusians, like from all Russian republics, and they were fine. They were much, much, much better than anyone other there.
Yeah,
Italian, Australian,
of course.
Canada, America, the eastern side of Europe is the best and the hottest, and everyone knows that.
Yeah.
It's,
So you go and you just invited them, hey, let's grab a bottle of wine and go to the beach. You met
yeah,
for that.
yeah.
Okay.
That was easy.
How did you get them to yours, or did you fuck them outside?
I did the thing that I always picked them up, like with the motorbike or car. That didn't matter, but I always picked them by myself, and that was the thing to at the first to see where she lives or works. At the second, it's if she does that, she realizes she cannot be home afterwards. It's like unmutual. Like you just if you go with the guy somewhere on the motorbike, you sign for all the night. So
Oh, that's like an unwritten rule.
it's like kind of that. Yeah.
Okay.
If I pick her up like eight in the evening, will she be back? No, never. She will never be back.
Okay, so you had learned a few things like and what they mean, and you basically created the system where like this has to work. Like if she
This
comes out
that
and these are
she
the
had no escape. You know,
yeah.
she could go or go
So
call
so
taxi and go home, but no, I don't. And
so
none
guys,
fails.
guys, lesson number 3: know your logistics. This is basically logistics, advanced level logistics conversation.
Yeah,
So
I did suggest to, but keep your car clean, fresh, neat, because it tells about yourself. If car or it's motorbike, and always pick up her ready. Don't take cab. Always pick car in any condition. And by the if the car is shitty, I had several cars. If the car is shitty, you can see her reaction about the car, yeah, and what kind of type she is. Maybe I don't want to spend time with her because I don't like gold diggers. Yeah, I even borrowed car one very funny old car for one special chick. Yeah, she was a very shitty person, but she was hot as fuck, and she was awesome, and she always when I did meet her, she always told bad things about poor people, like oh they're bums, fuck them, like that. And when I got her till date, I did pick up with, I think it's the oldest and baddest and the worst car on the island. It was, and she was embarrassed. And in my mind, it was, if she comes, if she gets
Yeah.
in the car, it's written, yeah. If she don't, sorry, okay, bye. I will not come out the car and go with her. I had fun. There's nothing serious. You have to have fun. Lesson number 4. You have to fun while you're doing
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and
It's
you
not
can't
just
be static and robust because doesn't work.
so you first have to figure out exactly what you're doing and why you're doing, and then you have to just enjoy it.
Yeah,
You
but
can't just
the
go like
thing
a robot.
I don't think about what am I doing.
The logistics
I
thing, like you knew that if you pick her up by the bike, she
Oh,
knows she
but it's
doesn't
the
come back.
basics,
Like,
guys. You have to
so
know
you have to
that.
know those rules. Like, I
You,
never knew a rule like that.
I never know that this is a rule.
That's why I'm still a virgin.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, there are some things that, but I don't like gold diggers. And in certain times of my life, I had money enough uh, to be with the gold digger, even if I wanted. But I think if I have a lot of money now, like sometime, even if I will be able, I will never be with one. I don't know why, but the things they tell when they talk about other people, they're nasty things, and
Yeah,
it's just not right. You
yeah,
can be a whore, you do for money, but you do the job, like, yeah. But if you're a gold digger, it's worse.
yeah.
It's much worse than whore. So
It's in a way similar because there's a
yeah,
trade.
but
One trade is written and the other is
it's
unwritten, but it's
and
like,
much more expensive.
yeah, but it's like unwritten. And if you're stupid, like you have to be stupid to not be able to read it.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so you went to Thailand, all this shit goes down. What's next in your.
I get hit by the car in Thailand.
So it's like a scooter, and he was going wrong
Yeah,
direction, and yeah,
the guy was, yeah, did hit me in frontal with the school bus. And I was on a
fuck,
motorbike,
that's like
and
crazy.
the yeah, I just remember I could pull to the left, and that's why all my right side is gone. Because if I would went straight forward, I don't think I will have had a life or neck or back or anything working there.
Yeah.
Uh, there's one half second action. Yeah, and that's why I don't have half leg. I haven't got a bone in my elbow. I don't have triceps. I have 14 screws in my shoulder. I have cut off, what this called,
uh, like I don't
hips.
know.
Yeah, the hip bone. I don't have both hip bones.
Okay,
I have no bone here.
yeah,
Several
knee,
muscles here.
yeah,
I have no free space or left hand. Yeah,
okay.
that does the job.
So that's the job, the squirting part. Uh, so so you end up being in a hospital. You get to Riga. You get back to Riga.
Yeah.
You end up in a hospital, and I guess it takes a while. So what's the first girl after all of this?
There's a very shitty story behind that whole thing. At that time, when I was in hospital in Riga, I had 2 girlfriends going on, like real full-time girlfriends too. One was
Did they
living.
knew one
No,
about the
no,
other?
no, 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 no. One was living in my apartment, and one was living with their parents still.
So wait, where did you fuck with the other one?
Sorry.
Where did you fuck with the one that was living with her
Oh, I
parents?
had
'Cause, like,
places. It's not a problem.
okay.
Yeah, and I dumped both of them for the third girl, and the third girl was special for me. I had like at that moment, 10 years before that, I had some relationship with her, and she was in my mind like any girl from my past girls would tell me go back. Yeah, I will go back to her. Even I did know she's crazy, but not for good. I didn't want to be with her for good reasons. There were some bad intentional reasons. She did some nasty stuff, and she was the best from the last 10 years, I think. And I got together with her. And imagine this: I'm in the wheelchair. None of my legs are working.
So wait, that's this girl.
Yeah, this
Wait,
girl.
and those two girlfriends were
Yeah,
after the hospital or before?
before
Before.
and during, and it's 2 or 3 months in the hospital. And this girl from 10 years before comes in my.
Resurfaces.
Oh, I did say.
Is it the one that took your virginity?
No,
Okay.
no.
One of those house party chicks.
She was fine, and yeah, there was some strange thing with her kid, and we fell apart somehow. And she comes back
Maybe
like
she had a kid.
back then, 10 years ago, even.
Okay.
And there was some situation in the living room. The kid was little but very smart, and when she was in shower, the kid was screaming like, don't touch me, don't touch me. I was just sitting on the couch, and the kid was sitting like on the floor playing and screaming and crying and pretending like I'm touching the kid or hitting or anything. And she there weren't cell phones with the videos or like that you can grab and film it. Yeah, and back then it worked for the kid.
So the kid didn't want this to work.
Yeah. The kid wanted only her attention, and no man would like hold on there for any reasons. And from blue sky, she falls like, oh, I did say your problem. Can I come to you? Like, I'm like, what? 10 years? I haven't spoke to her at all. And she comes to me, and she's engaged, and everything's fine. And we start to speak like she comes to hospital just randomly. And yeah, in 3 days, she's not engaged anymore. And like, we're planning to, when I come out of hospital, we're gonna live together. Like, imagine this stupidity. I haven't met her 10 years. I know she's crazy, but after 3 days like of this, okay, we can try. But I know she's totally fucked up, like really fucked up. And I lasted like 1 year and 2 months. Yeah, we did last.
Why did you do it?
I don't know. I dumped two good girls. I don't know. There's no explanation, because I was in bad situation, but I don't know. I was so high on morphine, and I wanted everything. I wanted to try new things. I was so first 8 months I was high all the time, but not in the good type of high. They're painkillers. Afterwards, when I don't use them, I realize I did stupid shit back then, and the thoughts I were thinking, it's crazy how they changed that Xanax, Lyrica. There's a ton of them, and it's much worse than any kind of drug, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it changes your mind. But why I did, I don't know. I liked her. Those two were fine, but she was better.
Okay. So, what happens then?
Then we bang chicks.
Then we bang chicks.
Yeah, with her.
Oh.
Me on crutches. Yeah, that's the most comedic.
Oh, sure. That's dope.
I can't even. It's so unreal and stupid from the side. If you were watching like porn, this was a porn. It's imaginable. I'm with that leg. I have those. Have you seen the metals out of my head?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I have those, and me, she,
Man,
and
that's
1, 2,
hilarious.
3 girls.
That sounds hilarious. Like,
It is.
like,
It is. It is. If I'm thinking now, it's stupid as fuck and funny as fuck, but yeah.
Fuck, that's crazy. Okay.
That's awesome too.
That's shit, man.
But it wasn't what that was the thing. I was with her. Why I was with her?
Shit.
What,
I just
because
can't comprehend the
but
fucking
you
story.
can't live with the people. She when she was drinking, she was totally different person. In the daytime, she was very closed and very calm girl, but in the nighttime, oh man. But I realized from the beginning nothing. There's gonna be only a little fun, and then a little of pain, and then it's gonna be over. And it was.
She was like a drug.
Yeah, but I did my. I I got anything I wanted from that year. I got anything. She lost a year maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. But I had a fucking fun. Yeah. In this condition, I haven't had so much fun even in normal condition.
Okay, so tell the guys, all the other chicks that you were banging with her, where the fuck did they come from?
I don't know. Should I speak about this? But if girls are really into, there's no problem for the other chicks. So she can manage. You can manage both. We had pickups on the clubs. We just come in and choose. Like there was some lesbian clubs, if you know.
Okay.
It closed, so it's pretty. If the chick's into it, it's no problem. But she has to be really into it.
So the chick was basically picking up other chicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, kind. Always it was the intention. There were. I was. Yeah, we bought her. We bought her full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your game? How do you get, like, you were with your chick? How do you get a chick in a club? What did you do? What did it look
I
like?
didn't do anything. I just told her to go get something.
So you,
She can choose.
okay. Okay. Other chicks that, because this one basically met you, she came to the hospital,
Yeah.
you developed this crazy connection, then you start seeing her, then she picks all the other chicks, she picks up all the other chicks in clubs. So
Few only. You can from the chicks I was partying before, and from the chicks she was partying before, and you can bring a lot of chicks whom you think they could join it. They
also you were bringing in chicks you knew before everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
it doesn't matter where from the chicks you have. When she's into it, you can pick your ex-girlfriends. Even I think it could be possible. So
yeah. Okay. So what happens with her?
Like
what happens after her?
After her, what happens? There was some sad few weeks maybe, because I know it wouldn't last, and I got everything I wanted from that, and I don't know. Probably I didn't know. It was fun. I was sad because it was fun. It was really fun, in a good way for me.
Okay.
It was very fun, and that's why I was sad, because it was too much fun. But when you have that kind of fun, it can last forever.
So where did you meet chicks after you were done with her and that ended?
From I've had few from the parties, little parties, close friends parties, and the chicks I have never met before. Tinder. From medical instances, I actually 4 of them. I have from 3 nurses and 1 doctor.
So how do you pick up a nurse?
I don't.
So what do they pick up you, or
I can't. I was thinking before about this. I got
what did you do?
The first one.
Did you stare them down?
No. Actually, it's the first one did find me, and that's like stupid story. I still had leg, but the leg was with the metal constructions outside. It was really bad. And I went to doctor to see an appointment for the veins, for blood vessels, to check on the blood vessels. And like it was in the middle of the check, there came nurse inside and told something to the doctor. I'm standing in my underwear. The doctor has like lubricant kind of stuff on my legs, and he's checking my blood vessels, and she's staring at me. I'm standing in underwear and with shirt and in underwear and pants down, like on the crutches. She's staring. Okay, I think, okay, maybe I have seen her anywhere. Maybe I bang. I don't remember. But if they stare like that, I don't remember them just. But this one was the appointment ended. I'm going to the elevator, and from the back she comes to me. Hey, she did. She gives me a paper with her number and tells, if you need anything, any checks with the discounts or some help, like what kind of help, like what help, if you need anything, just write me. And she's kind of fine ass chick, like but it was at the end, at the end, with that chick with whom I was partying with the girlfriend at the end. And I don't write her anything. I could fuck her easily, but the two or 3 days go by, and I have a message in WhatsApp like, do you remember 2 days or 3 days ago you were at the doctor's and the girl gave you the paper? I said, yeah. Oh, I'm the girl. But how the fuck she got my number? Because only doctor has my number. She did go in the database, check my number, and that's not good. Like, that's not a good thing to do if I'm angry. Yeah. And yeah, she was the first from the medical side, and she did write me blah blah blah. And in the evening, we were drinking wine at her place.
Okay.
In the same evening, she did write to me.
Okay. So that's one chick. What's next?
But the two others, they actually were my nurses. They were my nurses. My nurses during all the surgeries, when I'm peeing myself, like after surgeries. No, this shit's messy in the hospital. It's really messy. And yeah, those two were fine ass nurses. And the last one I did met, I was again really high from the drugs, really high, and I don't remember most of it, but I remember the last one. The last one's very simple. I was last day in the hospital. It was like last year, November 20 something November, and I just asked her, give me your Instagram account or Facebook. I don't know. They asked, do you have Facebook? She said, no. Okay. Then she came in. She said, I have Instagram. I was saying, oh, okay. Can I join you? Yeah, I can. And she went off to the home. I was a hospital. She had a shift change, and that's when I managed her after a few days at my mom's house. Yeah, because I was on a wheelchair and I couldn't get out of bed, and she came to check on me a few days later to check on me.
So wait, when did you understood that it's gonna be a special checkup?
When I asked her Instagram account. Well, when did she give me to me? It's like, no, why should I ask? And why should she give? If she gives, there's a, she's married, unfortunately, and she has kids, and I didn't know that in the beginning, like really didn't know that. And yeah, you just ask. If she gives, it's the part of the deal. Yeah, how job's done, I think.
Okay, so what do you write to them when you got the Facebook, Instagram, whatever?
I really don't remember what I did write to those, but some nothing intentional, just like some jokes about the hospital, or she told me, oh, we were talking like evening 1-2 hours, and she told me like, oh, she always thought I was a jerk, like, no, because I wasn't so good boy in the hospital. I was angry all the time, in pain, angry, and that's why the nurses got the worst from me. And she thought you are a jerk, and in the end we find out I'm a cool guy.
So
nice.
So what was the conversation about?
For me, at the beginning about the hospital, and then I started jokes about coming to visit me at home, and then yeah, she came fast. When I started joke,
Actually makes sense. Yeah, you start with a joke, and he's like, yeah, that would actually. Yeah, now you say, I've definitely used shit like that a lot. When I was much younger, I definitely used shit like that.
Yeah, but you should see from the people. Can you joke with them? Not,
Yes.
or you have to be straight on. There's different kind of chicks, and if it doesn't work out, it was just a joke, you know. It was just a joke. If it works, it works. Like, you have no backfire from that. It was just a joke. Sorry.
Yeah.
Or you get good, or you get nothing negative. You don't get anything negative.
Yeah. Okay. So, any other sources for checks?
Nurses, but sources. Ah, I did a little Tinder discover. Yeah, I did the Tinder job a little bit. I just did check if it works. It works, and those chicks are crazy from Tinder. Honestly, I never. I hope I never go back on Tinder. Um, you see the situation from which I am looking at the situation. You're a chick from Tinder. You go to the guy you have first spoken that day, 2-3 hours before. You go to the guy, he has wine, the guy hasn't got any half a leg, he's on crutches, and you go to fuck that guy. Are you normal? Like, no, like,
But there is the reason they do that. There
that's
must be,
mental. I
but
have no pictures with no legs. I have normal pictures like in Tinder, but I tell them, yeah, I'm sitting home. I can't go. It's like, and this is good hookup for me. I can't go outside anywhere because I can get long distances, and I have to invite all of them here.
it sounds to me like you basically took the best chances you could at any like time for the given situation. Like what, like you just saw opportunities in those situations you were in, and you used
That's now
some.
I'm seeing it. At that time, I didn't think that like that, but this is very good. I can tell. I can go anywhere. Sorry, you can come to me, and it's not a rude thing. Like, come to me, let's fuck. It's like, just come to me. I can't come to you. So it's funny, yeah.
So you know how like let's say you don't say about the leg thing, and they show up and they feel like shit. That's like shitty, right?
No, I haven't done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's shitty. Imagine someone listening to this and saying, "Wait, if I pretended, then that could work." And they show up. They expect you to not have a leg, but you do because you're just using that game to bring chicks home from wine.
Everything
And
works.
she's like, "What the fuck?"
But everything works. That's
Now you get the joke.
Yeah. Nice. I like to fuck only one leg, guys. Fuck you. I'm going. And that's like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it's like
That's bad.
that was a deep fucking joke. Or we're just really happy.
Yeah, we're happy.
Anyways, so Tinder.
They're crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're honestly they're crazy, and no.
But there must be something that's attracting them. Maybe like one thing could be it's desperation, but the other thing maybe something is attracting her. Maybe something in you is attracting them to you, regardless of everything.
Yeah, I'm not talking any good of myself, but most of them, they like the. I don't know. I don't think I still have it like the bad boy part, but not the stupid young like brainless bad boy. But we have a friend. You don't know him, but our friend has a friend, and when he meets me, he tells me, "You have an aura like." I just want to go party with you all the time. Like when I meet you or when I see you, I want to go party and do bad stuff with you. And I have met that guy like 2 or 3 times, and he says, when I meet you all the time, I want to do some bad shit. And I think that's the part, and the honest part about I'm pretty honest. Like nowadays, okay, there are jokes and fun, but if I want something, I can tell them. Yeah, honesty works. First, if they're not crazy, honesty works, because if they will not like make them defendant about what you're saying, yeah, like stupid chicks do, it works all the time. Yeah, I wanna bang you. Why are you writing? I wanna meet you. I don't know. No, like it's not. We're not 16, not 15.
Would you go the direct on Tinder, just saying I want to bang you?
Oh, we were talking about this with friends. How I come to the part when she comes to me, and we will bang, but most of them, like 8 of 10 from the Tinder girls, the conversations in first hour always like go to the sex way. Always from 8 to 10 women, like in the first they are starting some jokes, or from them or from me, like dirty jokes, like little funny jokes, and from that point on it goes in the sex direction all the time. Yeah, and we were thinking how I get there, but it's like this is thing natural. I have like dirty mind when I'm talking with chicks, and that's you can, but you have to think about it all the time to make it sense, to make the sense to
Yeah.
what are you saying. You can't like say random shit like,
You're like calibrated, you know when to
yeah,
sprinkle it in.
yeah, but you have to, yeah, think be in the situation. You can't like say some random like phrases to, it will be awkward otherwise. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like instead of like, let's say chick says, "Oh, I partied so hard yesterday," and you say, "Oh, damn, I'll have to punish you," as a joke. That's appropriate. But then if you do it in the wrong time, then you're buying
totally, that's the way.
chick goes to buy a drink, and you say, "Oh, I'll punish you so hard for that."
yeah
Don't do it like that.
yeah but I think there are some people who think that any phrases go anywhere, but
Of course.
yeah,
Okay.
it's natural. It's
Tinder
given.
chicks. So what I'm thinking is, what is the magic mojo? What is that magic mojo that they keep seeing, that they see regardless of everything? There must be something. So this, you still have the game. You still are like doing the right things when texting online with them. So that kind of, yeah, okay, that's definitely game. That can do a lot. What else do you think they're seeing?
I don't know. In the last few months, I'm kind of good when I meet them. Like just not gentle. Like, I don't know how to say. Like the simple things. She when she comes in, I don't know, offer something like tea, coffee. Like if we go somewhere, I'm driving around my car. You can do those little things. For me, it will make much more sense. Like I can open the door to her on the crutches, and it will make so much so much effort on my way. And I'm very nice actually. Last few months, and it works as well. I'm not a mean, bad, and dirty guy. I'm more of a
So you've discovered your pink side.
oh yeah, but it's nice and it works better than because they're grown up already. Those things that were working 5 and 10 years ago doesn't work now. Even with the chicks like those ages 20, 25, the chicks grow up very fast, and when you see around the Tinder how other chicks live so cool, yes, so travel, cars, bags, and yeah, they grow up very fast and get shit in their head very fast. Yeah.
Very fast.
Yeah, and yeah, if you're good, the good will win bad. Now I think now the good will always win bad. Yeah, nice.
Okay.
I'm growing.
You're growing.
Somewhere.
You're like a 25-year-old chick.
Yeah.
So smart.
Yeah.
All you need is a Prada bag. So,
Big dick.
a big dick. So, any other sources where you meet them? Sources, Tinder.
It's kind of describe if you ask like to make sources like internet, real life. They're everywhere. Every casual situation you can bring the chicks on uh, like 5 or 6, 7 years. I have no intention it's about the game. We talked about this previously. It's about never the fuck. It's about the game. Yeah. So in the last years, the fuck doesn't mean anything. I can't by if she wants, I can't not fuck her because I don't want it. Because
Yeah.
no, yeah, that's the things go that way when you have a lot of chicks, and that's the part. Well, my grandmother. I was 13 years, 14 years old when I was bringing chicks. My granddad went to sleep 10 o'clock. My grandmother let me in at 11 o'clock with the chick, and I had to be gone at 5 in the morning because at 6 my grandfather was waking up for the work. And it was a team job with my grandmother. She's the best. And I was 14 years old, and she, after like third, fourth, fifth night when she did allow me, she said, don't do that often, it will get boring. At that time it's like brain, it's unimaginable. And I got that like 5 years later. When I was 18, I got what she was saying at
Dude,
18.
I remember your grandma always being this awesome, incredible grandma. You were so happy every
Yes.
time she came over.
She
You were
is
so
awesome.
happy. I never had an idea she was so fucking amazing. Like this
She
shit is
and the
unbelievable.
things she was telling me at that time that didn't make sense then, it makes sense, so much sense now, and that I remember those things. It's super cool, and I wish I would listen and do with those things back then, because she said you will get bored. And 5 years later, 3, 4, 5 years later, I'm thinking, fuck, I'm bored. I don't like new chicks anymore. They must be dressed up in the high heels the proper way. And at 18, 19, I was not fucking new chicks because I told them that I don't like new chicks, and they had to dress up like. You imagine how it fucked up at that time. The boys were trying to get laid. I was choosing how to dress them to fuck, and that's not a good thing. I think that's not a good thing. At that point, I thought maybe yeah, but now looking back, there's no fun. Just fun in the process. So enjoy the process.
So, what other tips your grandma, like what other things maybe she said like
Well,
similar
I
that would
remember
be
this one clearly, but about the others, nothing in my head right now. But this one I remember. She in the morning when the girl was near the elevator, she took my hand and she told me, "Don't start so early or so often. You will get bored." I was thinking, "What the fuck, Grandma? I'm 14. She's like 70. Yeah,
the fuck
like
you know?
Grandma, seriously, what the fuck?" And yeah, that's deep. It's very deep, and I wonder why. How did she knew that?
She
That's
read
the part I don't want to think
she
about.
read it in a book.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. At that time, there were a lot of books about it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, those were Soviet times. Fuck that. But Soviet Union, I heard, started like in the beginnings of Soviet Union. There was this crazy sexual freedom, and then they realized that they need family, like to control the state.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why they completely changed their views. And like before, it was crazy, like fucking driven.
Yeah, orgies, like
Yeah,
like the
like,
ancient times.
that was the
so,
real Soviet Union, and then
Yeah.
they changed it to very strict family values.
Sad. Yeah,
That's incredible.
it's sad story.
No, it's just a crazy story. How like
Yeah.
they decide one thing and then.
But
Yeah.
the medieval and ancient times people, they had orgies. All the paintings on the famous paintings one, they are all about the orgies. So,
No, so are
but
we.
imagine that I'm always thinking one thing: the hygiene back then. You know?
Yeah. Fuck
Oh,
that.
fuck that shit! You hadn't have a shower. Oh, and you're fucking with 20 guys, and that's why all 18 of them are dead, like from AIDS or anything. Shit,
Yeah.
crazy shit.
So.
I don't know. It's hard to tell about the tips because
Don't worry about tips.
no, about anything that works for you will not work for me, and the opposite. And yeah, you have to enjoy the process because I don't. It can be done mechanically, like yeah, you have to do this to get
Yes.
fucked. Yeah. And you can do that. It's very
Yes.
simple to go basics to get fucked, but you have to explore,
That's always
enjoy. Yeah.
It's always the really hard thing when I teach guys in my work.
Yeah.
Like I kind of have to teach them really technically, do this, do this,
Yeah,
do that, and I have to do that. And it's like
it's I think you can get the score. Yeah, you can get things done, but it's very
it's really very hard. What they have to
it's
do,
impossible to,
yeah, because you can do it like a robot, but it doesn't work.
yeah.
Like they have to do the moves, but not like a
Yeah,
fucking robot.
That's why
You have to be enjoying it and feeling free, and like it's about delivery more
yeah,
than the
that's why
words.
my guys who ask for opinions or advices, the things don't work because I have few guys, few friends that I can meet. I meet for them in the internet. The first phrases, and that's the same thing that was back then in Fripa with my friends. Yeah, I have the first phrases, the chat going on, and when they do their stuff with their thinking, it doesn't work, and you can't. I had back 15 years ago. I had basics like what to do when she answers this and this. I had those basics, and now you have to feel just the feel and how she is typing, like,
but that's really advanced. But fuck it,
yeah,
let's not go as too deep as like
yeah.
But that's actually very important. In the beginning you have structure, but the best stuff starts when you can let go of the structure and just like
and you just work by the feels, and
it's like your language.
Language
of love.
Oh, fuck.
So what else? Is there anything else we should cover apart from some sex stories that we will end this with?
Not today. We can go back after a while to this conversation.
Okay. So tell me the story of that. Tell guys the story about the wheelchair and the chains. It's a crazy story.
Maybe I can tell you another story. Which one? From the hospital?
No, your apartment.
Here?
I don't know whether it was here. It was with 2 chicks and then 2 more chicks.
That's the part with this chick, with my girlfriend. She and 3 girlfriends. Like, not girlfriends. One was a hooker, but she knew 2 other, like, but they didn't know each other. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was me sense. And what I have to explain. Me and 4 chicks. You imagine that shit? Like, I haven't had that shit going on. Like, when I was healthy, like, most of was like 2.5 chicks. 2 was
what was a half?
No, like she was there, but she didn't really get going on. Like, so there's this is it's like a highlight. Yeah. If you measure something, your sex life, what would you say? What's your highlight?
My highlight?
Yeah,
I can remember some threesomes that are highlights.
Yeah, like the more, if it's not a gangbang or like orgy or like, if it's not, it's about you and how much people are there besides you. So chicks, in our case, chicks. Yeah, I had 4. Yeah. So it's a highlight of my sexual life.
Yes. So what I see is you started by getting abused by older 15-year-old girls.
Yeah, but my first threesome, as I now remember, my first threesome was like at 14, 15. Like, in those parties, when we were vodka and girls, yeah.
So what I see is you started from that low point of being abused, then graduated to more and more and more, and I see the trend, just your sexual trend, just going up and up and up, and it just count, like keeps going. No, like in the craziness of it.
In the count of women besides me.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. Oh yeah, nice.
That's the only number that matters. You and how much girls.
Yeah.
Like. like really, no, like
Yeah.
there has been parties when like one fucking 7 or 8, 10 girls are there just sitting and drinking while we're fucking, yeah, but it doesn't count. They
Yeah.
have to be all in the process.
Participating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, any last wish to the guys?
To enjoy the process.
Yes,
Yeah.
enjoy the process.
I don't know. Yeah. Enjoy. Be more free. Like.
Let's hit it to end the podcast.
Oh
There's
yeah.
some shit in. There is still.
No, there's
I
nothing.
left some shit in. So guys, honestly, I will listen to this when I'm sober.
Yeah, we
And
can have some questions.
But it was
like
really
in the
nice.
part 2, like in the second part, if you want. Yeah. Was there anything? Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, leave them. Send them to my email. Yeah, just send them to my email. That's the best option. Or leave them in the Day Game Church group chat, which is available on my website. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. It was very interesting for me to have this conversation because I was genuinely interested to see how guys that are naturally really good with girls do it. What are the things we can learn from them? And this is why I did this podcast episode. Well, as I said before the podcast, if you decide that you will want to do day game coaching as soon as the apocalypse, the end of the world is over, and this is your chance. And I said that you can pre-book coaching for the first 1.5 months after all of this is over for the old price, the price that was before the price went up. And if you pre-book now, then we will do the coaching in the first 1.5 months after the 14-day quarantine for travelers is no longer mandatory. If you are interested to find out more about prices and everything, you can either send me an email to robert@strobert.blog, that is robert@strobert.blog, or you can shoot me a message on Telegram if you are in our group chat. Well, guys, that's it. I hope you have a great week and you go do some sets if that's possible in your city. Bye.